Welcome to our show, Vegans Chef AJ and Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn, Vegan Recipes to Prevent and Reverse Heart Disease, Part 2 of 2. Last Sunday, in Part 1 of this show, we learned that heart disease can be prevented and even reversed or cured through changes in lifestyle to a whole food vegan diet. Today, Vegan Chef AJ and Dr. Esselstyn will continue to discuss the benefits of a whole food vegan diet and share more vegan recipes.
Let's finish up the kale soup. Or should I say the chili? I like to put the greens in at the end because otherwise they get too wilted. So the idea is as much greens as you can. Don't you think we're supposed to eat these about 6 times a day? Isn't that what I heard you once say? If possible.
Well, they're so magnificent for their antioxidant properties, their properties to bring back the endothelial progenitor cells, which are so key in this whole process. They do just wonderful things for all the natural sort of defense mechanisms of the body that really protect our vascular system. There's nothing that can beat the green leafy vegetables for this.
If it's really true what you say, and I believe you, that you can not only prevent heart disease, but largely reverse it with a whole food plant-based diet, why isn't it being treated this way?
Well, there's a lot of problems, and it really basically starts, believe it or not, with our medical schools.
Wow.
Because the medical schools are not teaching physicians really anything about nutrition.
What about your colleagues that say, oh, I can't get my patients to eat this way?
You know, I'm so glad you asked that question. That really has to do with what we call adherence. Now,
I wouldn't eat this. This is beautiful. And
Right.
It's delicious.
if you're going to have somebody really change their food and understand that the food is what's caused their disease, you've got to show them respect if you expect them to change. We have a program at the Wellness Institute that I direct where we know that patients, since 85% of them come from outside the state of Ohio, they can't stay there for days at a time. So we have synthesized a very intensive single-day, 5.5-hour seminar where these patients with cardiovascular disease are going to learn all about what they did that created the disease and how they can become empowered as the locus of control to halt and to reverse this disease.
Can anyone join this program anywhere? How can they get in touch with you and find
So
out more about the program?
Well, my secretary is responsible for all the registration of our program.
What's your website?
dresselstyn.com.
That's your name. We know that heart disease is the #1 killer of men and women, but was it always that way in this country?
As long as we've really been looking at this in the last 30, 40, 50 years, there's no question that cardiovascular disease has been the leading killer of men and women in Western civilization. And that's very discouraging when you think that, sadly, cardiovascular medicine is really now turned into a cardiovascular industry because it now accounts for over 45% of Medicare, and it's the entitlements that are pulling this country in the debtor's prison because we have not yet absolutely shown the public what they can do to halt and eliminate these common chronic killing diseases, whether it's heart disease, whether it's strokes, whether it's hypertension, whether it's diabetes, these diseases that we don't have to have. And the resolution of them is so ridiculously simplistic by sharing with the public what is the nutritional literacy that will allow them to prevent themselves from ever having these illnesses.
So to sum it up, we want to tell everyone, prevent, not stent, and eat your greens.
You got it. You got it.
Let me know how you like the chili, Dr. Esselstyn.
Sure.
It's got all the ingredients that you said were the sweet potato chili with
Dynamite.
carrot. Thank
It's
you.
dynamite.
Thank you so much.
Vegan, 'cause our hearts can't bear the animal people's suffering.
Wise viewers, we will take a moment to thank healthcare professionals for their dedication and hard work in keeping people healthy and treating their illnesses and injuries. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television. We will be right back.
Free international vegan recipes? Log on to suprememastertv.com/vegan recipes.
Welcome back to our show, Vegan Chef AJ and Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn, Vegan Recipes to Prevent and Reverse Heart Disease, Part 2 of 2.
I'm back in the kitchen with Dr. Esselstyn, and we're going to make a recipe from the Prevent and Reverse Heart Disease Cookbook. Look at these beautiful photos. These are the chocolate-filled strawberries. Dr. Esselstyn, did you know that I used to be a pastry chef?
I did.
Oh, good. Well, that's why we're going to do dessert. We're going to do a dessert recipe. So it says over 125 delicious, life-changing plant-based recipes by Ann Kryl Esselstyn and Jane Esselstyn. So who are these two women?
Ann is my wife. Jane is my daughter.
So the whole family's in on this healthy eating thing?
We have 4 children.
Okay.
And those 4 children have given us 10 grandchildren.
Okay.
So the whole family together now is 18.
18.
And everybody seems to be plant-based.
Can I be an honorary Esselstyn? Now that I'm thin like an Esselstyn?
If you smile pretty.
Okay. So that's great. So the whole family eats this way. That's wonderful.
Well, I think it's probably the greatest gift that you can give your children.
Sure.
Is a lifetime of eating in a way that they will avoid chronic illness.
I couldn't have said it better myself. And that doesn't mean they have to suffer from any kind of deprivation. You have delicious dessert recipes in this book, and we're going to make one of my favorite, which is the banana saucer.
Let's do it.
We're using this Yonanas machine, and it makes it so easy. We have some frozen bananas that we peeled in advance. They were ripe, and we have some frozen strawberries. We could have used mango, but I just have a love banana.
This is really good for your exercise as
Yeah.
well.
A little bit frozen may be too
Right.
hard. We'll put some strawberries in.
Yeah.
Actually, it's really...
I better check it out to be sure it's safe.
Oh, excuse me. There we go. There's the strawberries. Ooh, that's good.
I got it.
Oop. There we go. And move that bowl aside. Now, thank you for helping. Now, as delicious as a bowl of ice cream made with just fruit, the whole fruit, and nothing but the whole fruit, I like making it into a little sundae and putting more fresh fruit on top. Now, I hear your wife, Ann, makes it a little bit more special. What does she put on it?
Well, she occasionally puts a little chocolate balsamic.
Wow, that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Well, let's dig in, if you don't mind sharing with me.
I'd be excited to do that.
It's so good. It's just fruit. I mean, would it be okay if your patient ate this for breakfast?
Well, it would be okay, but I think for breakfast, I'd like them to have it during the day.
Right.
But I think for breakfast, I'd like them to have the old-fashioned rolled oats.
Right.
Because they are so strong with polyphenolic characteristics and the ability to help lower cholesterol.
I actually eat vegetables for breakfast. Is that okay?
That's wonderful.
Good.
Yeah,
This would make an excellent dessert.
it would.
If you had to tell our viewers one thing to really help drive this message home about how important it is to eat healthfully and feed their family healthily. You mentioned you have 18 people in your family, 4 children, 10 grandchildren. What would you say?
Well, everybody has to look at their own family history. And when they suddenly look carefully at their grandparents or those who are over 55, 65, and so forth, how many of them are taking drugs or medication? How many of them have perished from a common chronic killing disease? It's estimated that about 80% of these common chronic killing diseases need never, ever exist. And the answer to these is never going to be a pill, a procedure, or an operation. But the answer can be when we in the medical profession have the will, the grit, and the determination to share with the public what is a nutritional literacy that will empower them to avoid these illnesses.
Right. It's amazing that the cure is actually at the end of our knife and fork.
It's terribly important to share with the public and your audience that really illness is not a question of simply genes
Right.
or stress or just the luck of the draw. It's so powerful to think that when we get the public to understand the importance of nutritional literacy, they are now empowered as the locus of control to halt and prevent these common chronic killing diseases. Thank you for having me.
And Dr. Esselstyn, thank you so much for being here. You really helped explain that heart disease never need exist. And if it need exists, it need never progress. And that we really can take control of our health destiny, starting in the kitchen with what we eat. And if you want to know what to eat, consider getting the Prevent and Reverse Heart Disease Cookbook or Prevent and Reverse Heart Disease. Thank you so much for watching another episode of Healthy Living. I'm Chef AJ, and I make healthy taste delicious. Love and kale. To your health.
Ingredients. For all ingredients, please use organic versions if available. For the vegan banana soft serve, the ingredients are frozen ripe bananas, peeled, frozen strawberries or other fruits.
Be vegan. Return to your loving heart, man.
We are grateful to Unchained TV, an online TV channel that promotes a compassionate vegan lifestyle and raises awareness of animal people rights, and its founder, Miss Jane Velez-Mitchell, vegan, a Shining World Vegan Journalist Award recipient, for giving us the opportunity to translate this show into various languages and share it with the world. For more information about Vegan Chef AJ, please visit chefaj.com. For more information about Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn, vegan, and his heart disease program, please visit dresselstyn.com. For more information about Unchained TV, please visit unchainedtv.com. Noble viewers, it has been a pleasure to have you on our show today. Thank you, Chef AJ and Dr. Esselstyn, both vegans, for sharing your recipes and for showing us how to prevent and reverse heart diseases through our food choices. We are indeed empowered to heal ourselves through a vegan diet. For many common chronic killing diseases, medications and medical procedures need not be the only options.